So we are back with another video on the Opel Manta GTE Exclusive. This is the car featured on a previous video on our channel that had been stood for 30 years. We briefly got it running on the last episode using some spray up the inlet manifold as the fuel pump had seized. So on this episode, the aim of the game is going to be getting this thing running and hopefully driving. We do need to change the fuel pump because it is seized solid. I do have a replacement fuel pump. It is a used pump, but it works, so that'll do for now. And also we need to get the brakes working because the front brake pads have been taken out of this car because the front brakes was locked on. So probably gonna have to free up the calipers and then get the brake pads back in so we can drive this around and stop it safely. So let's crack on, guys. Let's see if we can get this car finally driving after 30 years. And let's see if it'll move. We'll test the clutch, test the gearbox and test the brakes. So I've got the fuel pump bracket released, I've got the pipe released on the front, and I've also got the two wires off. So I now just need to release this pipe here from the pump, but we are going to lose a bit of fuel, so I've got a big bucket here ready to catch that fuel. I am going to leave this old fuel in here just for now because I want to get this replacement pump which I've got here, which is a used pump, but I've just tested it and it does work. I've got a new pump on order for this, so this will do for now. So I want to get this pressurised up and check for any leaks before I put fresh fuel in it. Obviously it doesn't make sense to put fresh fuel in it to then prime it up and lose half of that fuel all over the floor. So we're going to get this pump replaced and then we will activate it, get some pressure in the lines and see if it holds its pressure without bursting any pipes. A little look underneath while I'm under here. There's a couple of grommets missing. There's some surface rust under here, but it is surface rust. It's still solid. All across the back there is solid as well. It is a really good shell, this. I'm quite surprised how well this is kept. So let's get to it. Let's get the rest of this pump off to get covered in some stale fuel. Right, so let's just repressurise this system and see if this pipe holds before we do try to start it. Right, so this is the pipe in question. It's this pipe here which is split. As you can see, it is old, very perished. So for the sake of it, while we're here, we're going to replace both of these rubber pipes. The rest of it is copper up to the fuel rail, and at some point we will replace all the piping at the fuel rail as well. But for now, for the purpose of the video, because we are trying to get this running and moving this evening, we're just going to be replacing these two off burst for now, and we'll get to the rest of it on another episode. Right, so that is those two fuel pipes now done. So I'm going to drop the car on the floor, get it level, and then what I'm going to do, I'm going to see if the car will start now the new fuel pump is on, and we'll see if it'll fire up on this 30-year-old fuel. Just for the sake of it, we've nothing to lose at this point. The fuel will be drained at a later date, but it's in the car. It's already gone around the system because we're having to pressurise these pipes. That was the whole purpose of the test, what we've just done. Because obviously if I'd have put new fuel in, we'd have lost quite a lot of fuel there with that leak. So let's give it a whirl, let's see what happens. Let's see if 30-year-old fuel is still any good. So far so good. Any leaks under the engine bay? All looks good there as well. Right then, let's see if it starts. Well, I can't believe that. Literally, first flick of the key. What are the chances of that? Wow. Well, they say they don't make cars like they used to. They certainly don't make fuel like they used to either. Because that is currently running on 30-year-old fuel. Wow, very, very surprised with that. So let's let this run for a couple of minutes, check for any leaks, check for any coolant leaks, let it warm up for a couple of minutes and we'll see if it'll give it a little rev. Been warming up for a few minutes now, so far so good. No leaks, no oil leaks, no coolant leaks, no fuel leaks. So let's see if it'll have a little rev, let's see how it sounds. Oh, that sounds sweet as a nut. Have a look at these brakes. As I was saying earlier, pads have been removed because the wheels was locked on, so the guy who transported it from its resting place decided to take these out. So let's knock these pads back in. I'll give them a bit of a scrubbing up, get them back in for now. Again, it will be having all new discs and pads and stuff. You can see it has been stood for quite some time, guys. The discs are pretty bad. Apologise if the picture's not great either. I am working outside the front of the unit this evening because, as you can see, we're quite full in there at the minute, so this will have to do for now. So let's get these pads out the boot. Let's get them back in, see what happens. There's quite a lot of used parts in this boot as well, but the pads are down here. There's 3 of them, and there's the 4th. There she is. So the first thing we're going to do is we need to push the piston back in because it has wound itself out a little bit there and the pads won't fit in. So before I do that, I'm just going to pop the reservoir cap off before we push that piston back in, just to allow a bit of breathing space in there. I've not actually checked if there's any brake fluid in this yet, to be honest. Let's have a little look. Yes, there is brake fluid in there. Again, it will want changing, but it should do for now. Right guys, so here we go. First drive in 30 years. Shame it's pitch black. I would like to have got this footage in the daytime and got some proper footage of it going up and down the yard, but it is what it is. I only get to work on these cars of an evening, so here we are. I'll put this torch in here. Put the interior light on. It doesn't really do much, but it's on anyway. See if it still starts. Yes, it does. Right. Do we have brake pedal? Yep, there we go, it's pumped up now. Nice and solid. I get a gear. Wipers. Oh yes. Put some lights on. Oh, I can feel that clutch slipping a bit on the flywheel. Well, it is moving. Here we go. Windows are all steamed up and everything here. The brakes do feel a little bit bindy. But it is to be expected after all these years stood. Let's get some heaters going. Try and get these windows to de-steam because I can't see a damn thing at the minute. And we're off. We do have some form of brake. Whoa, getting them brakes grinding. Ooh, big bump. Gear. Oh, it's surging a bit. It doesn't like that fuel. I'm just going to pull it back around the garage and check that we haven't got any more fuel leaks before we go any further, and we'll have a second run. Steering's a little bit stiff as well. Right, so we stuttered to a stall there guys, unfortunately. It did run and drive, but I think that 30-year-old fuel has finally took its toll. The fuel pump is still working, but it does sound a little bit loud, if you can hear this. So I'm not sure whether this other pump's packed up or whether it's filled with junk out the tank. But yeah, we have stalled, staggered to a halt. So with that said, I think we'll leave this one here guys. But I still call that a result. That's a win. Gearbox works, clutch works, brakes work. So for a car that's been sat for 30 years, I think that's done really well, considering it's still on 30-year-old fuel as well. So we will be leaving this one here. Stay tuned for the next episode. Don't forget to hit that bell icon to keep up to date with the most recent updates. Smash that subscribe button for us, give us a share, drop us some comments, let us know what you think. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll see you all on the next one.